We are talking about Monster Hunter today. I think I, as everybody else, was shocked when the news hit that Monster Hunter Wilds, Capcom's newest addition to the Monster Hunter franchise, nosedived to a overwhelmingly negative review status on Steam with only 16% positive reviews as of time of the recording, which means that 84% of the people reviewing the game do not recommend you playing it right now. As someone who has been playing Monster Hunter for some 15-ish years now, I started with Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP. I am emotionally invested and I want to check out what is going on with the franchise and where it stands today. Let's talk first about why Monster Hunter Wilds actually is amongst the best entries in the series, and then afterwards we will see why people are still choosing to turn away from it. Because on paper, Monster Hunter Wilds has perfected the Monster Hunter formula in a way that no game before it ever has. They absolutely doubled down on the ecosystem simulation, creating a world more lively than the ones we ever had before. You traverse through the map and you just feel the love the developers put into every single corner and cricket of the series. Wherever you look, you see big monsters with unique behaviors and even loot items appearing and disappearing based on environmental factors. It is so detailed that there are entire YouTube channels dedicated to exploring that world that Capcom has so carefully crafted for us. Modern games are often criticized for putting in too much detail and fidelity in areas that don't actually enhance player experience. Oh, look at these water physics. Or see, you can see every pore of the main character when you zoom in, just to show off at press conferences and in marketing. When in Red Dead Redemption 2, your horse's balls would shrink depending on the weather. Sure, that was memeable, but it wasn't really affecting player experience in a meaningful way. In Monster Hunter, however, this attention to detail has successfully translated into a simulated ecosystem that players come to love and expect. And Monster Hunter Wilds absolutely nails that. Maybe the biggest steps forward have been done in streamlining the gameplay loop. Let's be honest here. Most Monster Hunter players want to spend as big of a percentage as possible of their playtime actually fighting monsters. Over the past 20 years, Monster Hunter has changed its identity from a survival game to a glorified boss rush simulator, with many of the non-combat activities becoming more and more optional. And while my old little heart gets all melancholic when I think about the Poké Village theme playing in the background, while I spend 20 minutes sorting through my chest, training my feline companion in skills and choosing specific ingredients for my meal buffs, I realize that time changes and Monster Hunter Wilds successfully manages to reduce the time you spend in inventories and menus and increase the time you actually spend bashing monster heads and cutting tails off. The new seamless open world and quest flow system lets you start quests from essentially anywhere. Same goes for meal buffs, which you can now cook and consume not only mobilely on the go by yourself or get invited by villagers from villages that are spread throughout the entire map. You can even carry multiple weapons so that you can switch up your playstyle without getting bored. And if you ever do need to go back to a hub area, then you can quickly get through it by selecting one of your pre-selected meal plans, your ammo and weapon loadouts, or your item loadouts. Wild blends the preparation phase and the hunting phase that the series is known for together, and it is to the gameplay's benefit. Another big step is your new companion, the Sacred, a chocobo-like creature that you can ride that will automatically follow your quest target way faster than your feet could ever carry you, while at the same time on its back you can do on-the-fly gathering, weapon sharpening, and also item consuming. When it comes to gameplay loop, Wilds has truly nailed it again, by focusing on Monster Hunter's strengths and improving on those. Same goes for the combat, that is the heart of the gameplay loop. Every weapon feels amazing, and also, hello, can we talk about how the title update and the collaboration with Street Fighter and Akuma essentially brought the 15th weapon to the game? The last weapon that was added to the main series was back in 2013 in Monster Hunter 4 with the Insect Glaive and the Charge Blade. And the new monsters also don't disappoint, with my favorite design being the beautiful yet dangerous Lalabarina and other iconic monsters like Arkveld with its high damage chain combos, or the speedrunner's favorite Uvduna, which is a water type monster That is so rare for the series, and whenever we have a good monster that is water type, like let's say Plesioth or like Yakris, they instantly become fan favorites. The new wounds mechanic also helps keep the fight dynamic, improving on the previously disliked Clutch Claw mechanic that was introduced in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. If you like the way that I think about Monster Hunter, or you disagree but you think that you can have a good conversation in the comments, then please feel free to subscribe so that we can have more talks about all kinds of topics in the future. So everything new that the game offers on paper is absolute gold. Why is it that people are still choosing not to play the game? Let's start with the elephant in the room. Performance. The PC performance for Wilds is absolutely abysmal. Inexcusable. I run a 3080 setup. I am aware that I cannot play every single new game on 4K, max settings, 144 FPS, but if I have to run the game at Full HD, 1080p, medium to low settings, my PC heats up the entire room and starts sounding like a jet engine, and I am barely scratching the 50 FPS. And I am supposed to follow the Monster Hunter support channel on Twitter just so I can follow instructions on how to fix my shaders that they are supposed to ship because I am a customer? Then we have reached levels of unplayable that are beyond salvation. The standard for video games in 2025, and it has been like that for a long time, especially for games that are very action heavy and require precise timings, is Full HD at a clean 120 FPS. It is not 2006 anymore. We're not having the PlayStation 3 debate about how, oh, actually 30 FPS is enough to play a game. It's actually a more cinematic experience. Fuck that. And there are enough gamers out there who are currently leaving their reviews on the game showing that this is just not acceptable in the current year anymore. And companies can't keep getting away with it.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
If Capcom refuses to ship a playable PC port, then I will refuse to play it. It's that simple. Another thing that people are complaining about is a lack of content. Now, I actually have a theory on why I think that Capcom kind of gaslit themselves into this whole situation, so hear me out. Modern Monster Hunter games are released in two parts. You have the base game and then you have a DLC expansion pack that contains the G rank or master rank with the hardest challenges in the game and also a lot of additional monsters and maps. Currently, only the base game for Wilds is available, and we won't get the DLC until sometime next year, the earliest. So while some people are saying that the game is lacking content, others are arguing that you should just wait for the DLC to come out because it will at some point and it will fix a lot of the complaints that are currently there. That is without a question. But I think that Capcom is cannibalizing itself. Because the player numbers on Monster Hunter World, a game that came out 7 years ago in 2018, are currently higher than those of Wilds. People are preferring to play the old Monster Hunter game over the current one. And it makes sense. Why would I hunt the same couple of Apex monsters in Wilds when I can right now go to World and hunt Fatalis, Alatreon, Safi'jiiva, these other boss monsters, or collaboration creatures like Behemoth from Final Fantasy, or play Gerald and fight the Leshen? The root of this problem is the live service model. Monster Hunter game used to come as a complete package. You used to buy, let's say, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and you would have everything on the disc. The low rank, the high rank, and the G rank. The complete game was there from the very beginning and you could grind to your heart's content. But Capcom decided to stir the game in a different direction. Instead of shipping a good, finite product, they have built a player base that wants endless content, that want to come back to play a game for more and more and more. So it makes sense that these people that Capcom has accumulated are disappointed with the current state of the game. They want a reason to log in every day, and Wilds currently isn't giving them that. Of course, there are other minor issues that people have with the game, but these are the two big ones: performance and content. So do I think that all of these negative reviews are justified? Yeah. Do I care? Well, and this is kind of the message of this video. I have mentioned that I have been a long time fan of the series, but me and the audience have learned to move on from these types of games. It used to be that these types of games successfully trap you with FOMO mechanics like battle passes or times event, having you invest not only time and money, but also your emotions into how the game develops. But I feel like people are getting tired because we as the players have learned that all of our investments won't be returned. At some point, the next game will come out and then it's just forget all of your old saves, everything will be lost. Please buy next product, please consume next battle pass, please buy the next DLC, and it's rinse and repeat. Honestly, there are enough other games right now. I am playing other games for the past couple of months. I'm currently super excited for Slay the Spire 2 to come out because I know that these games won't let me down. It's just a learning experience that we have done over years at this point. And I just don't feel like defending yet another multi-billion-dollar company for getting negative reviews. I think they earned that. For Wilds, I finished the low rank and the high rank story. I had fun, I grinded a little bit afterwards, I made myself a couple of armor sets, and then I was done. Performance was shit, content is meh. Next game, and that is completely okay. Because if the game doesn't respect my time by providing an enjoyable experience, then I won't bother playing it. Thank you for listening. What is your experience with Monster Hunter Wilds? Do you have performance issues on PC? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'm super interested in what you guys have to say.